What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bringing the weekly wrestling review for October 27th and November 3rd. Welcome back to the show. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews to predictions. We talk about it all. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. On today's show, we got reviews for 2 weeks of Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, NXT, and a review of Hell in a Cell, also with some wrestling news. Good to be back. It's been a while, too long. I'm going to start doing these more regularly. Well, you know, the regular shit, you know, one a week. I'm tired of doing 2 a week. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And there's a lot to cover, and sometimes I might miss a few things. So I'm already working on the next week. Should be up by, I'm hoping, Tuesday or Wednesday. And we'll be back on a solid track of one a week, reviewing, you know, a whole week's worth of wrestling. Anyways, for now, we got 2 weeks worth. So let's just quickly go through the stuff that happened like 2 weeks ago or whatever. Let me just see if there's anything worth talking about real quick. Oh, they had AJ resign as the Raw GM. Vince McMahon came out, AJ came out, she resigned. Heyman came out, he wanted to be Raw GM. I think he would make a good Raw GM, to be honest. But they ended up picking Vicky Guerrero. And that's whatever. We'll later learn, we'll talk about on the next Raw of like why AJ's gone and what happened and all the shit that they're talking about. But overall, this storyline is just whatever to me. You know, how many times has there been like an affair type thing? Like so many. So it's like, it's whatever. Anything else on this Raw worth talking about? No, that's about it. The main event was CM Punk versus Sheamus in a lumberjack match. Good match. CM Punk wins. After the match, Ryback attacks Punk. Next we have NXT. Anything? Let's check. Cassius Ohno versus Trent Beretta. That was a pretty good match. The debut of Bronson. He took on Lincoln Broderick. That was okay. Bronson wins. He's kind of like a MMA type guy, I think. I don't remember him, but he was like using submissions and shit, so I guess he's like an MMA type guy. What else? And the main event was Seth Rollins versus Heath Slater. Pretty good match. Rollins ended up taking that victory. Next we got TNA Impact. What happened on this show? Oh, okay, this was the Impact that they started changing the formats. So what TNA, I think they're doing it more often now. I don't know if this was just for Championship Thursday or whatever. But they had Jeremy Borash and some guy for the first hour on commentary, and in the second hour they had Mike Tenay and Taz. I thought Jeremy Borash and the other guy, I don't remember his name, I apologize. But they did a pretty good job for that first hour, and then, you know, we had the regular Mike Tenay and Taz. But Jeremy Borash and the guy, they did a good job, so high five for them. Other than that, you know, just some good matches. The RVD Zema Ion X Division title match. After the match, Joey Ryan and Matt Morgan attack RVD. It looks like they're building towards a Joey Ryan RVD feud. I think this might be too soon for Joey Ryan to go straight to the X Division title. That's just my opinion, though. You know, kind of build him up. Maybe a month and a half, and then have him go for it. But right now, right away, I don't think that'd be the best thing, but that's just me. Next we have Mr. Anderson, Austin Aries. They had a good match. Aries ended up taking that. And in the main event, Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle. For the world title, good match. Hardy wins. After the match, Austin Aries attacks Hardy. Next we got Smackdown. To be honest, Smackdown has just been pretty boring as of late. Nothing really worth talking about. Other than Wade Barrett and Randy Orton, they've been having some good matches. They had a match on this Smackdown, the Raw, and then the Smackdown again. And they've just been putting on some good matches, so I'd check out those. They did one on this Smackdown, the one on the Raw, and then the Smackdown following, I believe. So check all those out. I thought they were pretty good matches. Next we got Ring of Honor, Roderick Strong versus Homicide, good match. Roderick Strong wins. Mike Mondo versus Kyle O'Reilly, pretty good match. Mondo wins. And in the main event, Rhino versus Michael Elgin, pretty good match. Elgin ends up taking that victory. Next we have the Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell was 2 weeks ago, I think? I'm not sure. But anyways, it was actually a pretty good show. The one thing I was disappointed with in the show was the fact that there was only one Hell in a Cell match. I mean, you call the whole pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, and usually both world title matches have a Hell in a Cell stipulation, but on this pay-per-view there's only one. I was kind of disappointed with that. Other than that, it was a pretty good show. So let's quickly run through this. First match was Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio. This was a good match. Orton ended up taking the victory. I really liked the finish of the match. You had Del Rio. Orton was in the turnbuckle. Orton, you know how Del Rio goes for that like step up enziguri in the turnbuckle. Well, Orton dodged it, and as Del Rio was like falling from that enziguri, he got hit with an RKO. I thought it was really cool. So that was a good finish there. Next we got Rhodes Scholars, my bad, taking on Team Hell No for the tag team titles. This was also a good match. Rhodes Scholars ended up taking the victory by disqualification after, I believe Kane started attacking everybody, and the ref just DQ'd him. So this opens up the possibilities for a rematch down the line, which I don't have a problem with, because I love Team Hell No. I'm really liking the Rhodes Scholars. Damien Sandow has been growing on me a lot, and I like Cody Rhodes, so the team of them is pretty good. And they just had a good match here, so I'd love to see more of this, especially tag team action in WWE right now. It seems to be taking off very well. You got the three-man band, Team Cobra, who else? Rhodes Scholars, Primetime Players, Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, Team Hell No, Epico and Primo. The tag team division is awesome right now. And the Usos, there's another team. And I'm really liking the tag team division in WWE right now. Hopefully they can keep it up, and we'll have some pretty good tag team matches coming. So I'm excited for that. Next we got Miz taking on Kofi Kingston for the IC title. Pretty good match. Kofi ended up taking that victory. Next we got Antonio Cesaro taking on Justin Gabriel. U.S. title match. Pretty good match. Cesaro wins. Next we got Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Primetime Players. Good match. Mysterio and Sin Cara win. During this match, Sin Cara actually suffered, I believe it was a concussion. I don't know if he actually suffered a concussion, but he got injured. He was going for like a sliced bread number 2 type move, and he landed right on his head, and JBL did a perfect explanation of why that happened. It's because Titus O'Neil, he's such a big guy, and when Sin Cara was trying to lift his head up, he couldn't because Titus O'Neil is so big, and his, I don't know, that muscle from like your neck to your shoulders, I don't fucking know, but that muscle, and he couldn't get his head through and ended up landing on his head. It was actually pretty scary, but he managed to finish out the match, and it was a good match. Next we got Big Show and Sheamus for the world title. I wish it was a Hell in a Cell, but whatever. Good match. Big Show ends up winning and is the new world champion. I thought Ziggler was going to come out and cash his Money in the Bank. That didn't end up happening. I don't know how I feel about Big Show being world champion right now. I mean, it's different. I think that's what people want. I know Sheamus has held the belt since WrestleMania, so it's like, people want something new because they get bored quickly. But yeah, Big Show is champion. It's okay so far, I guess. I would have preferred like Del Rio to win it at either like SummerSlam or something whenever he took on Sheamus, but that never ended up happening, so that's whatever, I guess. They're gonna have a rematch the next pay-per-view, and yeah, we'll see about that. Ziggler's probably gonna cash it in at Survivor Series, though. Next, we got Layla versus Eve versus Caitlyn in a 3-way for the Divas title match. Pretty good match. Eve ends up taking that victory. And in the main event, we have CM Punk versus Ryback for the WWE title in a Hell in a Cell match. This is actually pretty good. Punk wins after the ref low blows Ryback. After the match, Ryback attacks the ref and chases Punk up the Hell in a Cell, then hits the shell shock on Punk on top of the cell. So overall, the match was actually pretty good. I didn't know how Ryback, he's not used to having long matches, so I didn't know how this would end up being. But Punk being so good, best in the world, they actually had a pretty good match. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. The ref, he ended up, low blowing Ryback, costing Ryback the match. Ryback ended up destroying him. And that was about it. Punk explains it more on Raw, which we'll get to in just a second. So overall, Hell in a Cell is actually a pretty good show. I do recommend it. More specifically, actually, I liked all the matches, to be honest. Everything was different. It was all pretty good. And yeah, so just check out the whole show. And next we got Raw. Now, I think this is what happened last week. No, the week before. I don't fucking know anymore. It seems all my days are just like one day, one really long day. Alright, so it starts out with CM Punk. He brags about defeating Ryback and says he had nothing to do with the ref. Foley comes out, and him and Punk go back and forth until Punk challenges Foley to a traditional Survivor Series match at Survivor Series. Foley accepts, and Ryback comes out, scares off CM Punk, comes out for a match with JTG. It was okay. Ryback ended up taking that victory. Next we got Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton. Pretty good match. Orton wins. Next we got Team Hell No versus the Primetime Players. Pretty good match. Team Hell No wins. Next we got Vicky Guerrero comes out and calls out Cena. Cena comes out and Vicky shows a bunch of evidence of videos and pictures of Cena and AJ together. Cena denies it all. Ziggler ended up coming out, gets in Cena's face, but Cena just shoves him down. So I don't know if they're going to be building towards a feud here. I think it'd be interesting because Cena he needs like that mid-card feud, and it would help elevate Dolph Ziggler definitely. And I think people don't really want to see Punk and Cena anymore. So it would be a nice breath of fresh air to not see Cena in the title picture. Even though he hasn't been in the title picture so much, he's always kind of been in that main event picture. So like to kind of see him step down and maybe take on a Dolph Ziggler would help Dolph Ziggler a hell of a lot. Being the Money in the Bank, potentially winning world title shot sooner or later. And overall, I think it would be good. So I hope they actually have a feud. And, they're probably going to have mixed tag team matches and shit like that. And just stuff like that. So I think it'd be a good feud. I can't wait to see Ziggler versus Cena. Next we have Antonio Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston. Okay match. Kofi wins by DQ. Next we got Team Cobra versus 3-man band. Okay match. 3-man band wins. Next we got AJ versus Beth Phoenix. Blah match. AJ wins. Vicky restarts the match, allowing Beth to win that, the second match. And later on backstage, Beth approached Vicky about some stuff, and Vicky ended up firing Beth Phoenix. This is actually legit. Beth Phoenix is gone from WWE. We talked about it a month and a half ago, about Beth Phoenix possibly wanting to leave the WWE. Well, this is actually official. She's gone. And we'll talk about it a little bit more in the wrestling news section. And yeah, so let's move on. Next we got Sheamus comes out, says he wants a rematch. Big Show comes out, they go back and forth until Sheamus attacks Big Show. Next we got Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Rhodes Scholars. This was actually a good match. Rhodes Scholars ended up taking the victory, but good tag team action. That's what I wanted from WWE for a long time. And I kind of went to TNA to get my tag team fix, but right now TNA's tag team division is lacking. It's a real shithole. And no offense to like Daniels and Kazarian and Chavo and Hernandez, I like them a lot, but overall WWE's tag team division, it has depth to it. It's not more than 2 teams, and yeah, it's kind of shocking to say WWE has the better tag team division. But every once in a while, they want to do some tag team stuff, and right now it's really hot, in my opinion. So they had a good match here, and I'm excited to see more. Next, Vince McMahon and the WWE roster come out and hand a check to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for the whole month of October. They, been promoting the Breast Cancer Foundation. On the ramp, they have the logo, and in the ring, they got the second rope is pink. Cena with his shirt and his hat. If you watch the matches closely, you can see all the wrestlers with like pink armbands. And Cena came out and he presented them with a $1 million check. WWE is always doing these kind of things where it's like they're doing stuff for charity, whether it's Be a Star or what's the one that Cena does? Make-A-Wish Foundation. They're always doing some sort of good deed, and breast cancer, it affects a lot of people. I like the whole commercial where it's like breast cancer does not care if you're getting married, if you care about a loved one, it will try and hurt you as much as possible. So it's good to see the whole WWE supporting a cause like this, because it does affect people. I've been affected by breast cancer, and you can hear other superstars in their confessions, like Layla, she lost her mom. And so I think it's a good thing. I'd like to see what they do next, because WWE always does this kind of stuff, so that's good to see. Next, you got Alberto Del Rio versus Justin Gabriel. Pretty good match. Del Rio wins. And in the main event, we had a segment where Punk and Foley revealed their teams for Survivor Series. For Team Punk, the team consists of CM Punk, Miz, Rhodes Scholars, and Alberto Del Rio, while Mick Foley's team consists of Kofi Kingston, Team Hell No, Randy Orton, and Ryback. And that should be interesting to see at Survivor Series. I know they ended up changing that match. I know it's now a triple threat for the WWE title, and Punk's no longer the captain, and Ziggler filled in. So I didn't watch Raw, so I'm not up to date on everything. But I'll be talking about it next time when, I'm fully updated on everything. So next we got NXT. First match is the Usos versus Michael McGillicuddy and Johnny Curtis. Pretty good match. Usos win. Next we got Xavier Woods versus Leo Kruger. Pretty good match. Kruger wins. I'm excited. I was so glad to see Xavier Woods, formerly Consequences Creed, on TNA. And, he finally made his NXT debut. I'm still waiting for Dean Ambrose to make his NXT debut. I don't know if they're holding him off to debut on the main roster. That would be cool as well. But hopefully he debuts on NXT if they're not going to do anything with him on the main roster. Next we have probably the worst thing I've seen in a while. Brian Saxton interviews Biggie Langston. And he cuts one of the worst promos I've heard in a while. He talks about the number 5, because, he pins people for 5 counts. He's like, I have 5 toes on each foot. I have 5 fingers on each hand. I like high fives. And it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. You gotta watch it. It was so bad. Oh my god. I don't know how, but whatever, moving on. It was just so bad. So fucking bad. I'm like, how can this be that bad? I don't know how, but they did it. And then Vicky Guerrero came out and said she wants to manage Biggie Langston, but he ends up clapping powder in her face. So I don't know if she's going to follow up on that. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think so, though. Next, we got Jinder Mahal, Justin Gabriel, Drew McIntyre, and Bo Dallas come out, and they all won an NXT title shot. Dusty Rhodes comes out, and says there will be a 4-way number 1 contenders match next week. That should be a great main event. Can't wait to watch that one. Next, we got CJ Parker versus Roman Reigns. Okay match, Reigns wins. And in the main event, Antonio Cesaro versus Tyson Kidd for the U.S. title. Good match. Cesaro wins and retains his U.S. title. Next, we got TNA Impact. It starts out with Joseph Park comes up and challenges Aces and Eights to a fight. 4 of them come out. Then Kurt Angle comes out, but he gets overwhelmed. Sting comes out and says one of them will lose their mask tonight. First match, Magnus vs. Samoa Joe. Pretty good match. Joe wins by DQ. Next, we got Christopher Daniels and Kazarian come out and challenge the Spanish announce team to a match. Daniels and Kaz attack them until Chavo and Hernandez come out. I really like Daniels and Kazarian. I really like their tag team. Like, I didn't like them at first. Well, I've always liked them, but when they first kind of got together with the whole Claire Lynch thing, and we all know how fucking terrible that was. That was fun. Oh my god, it was so bad. But it's over now, and I'm glad to see Daniels and Kazarian kind of getting their shot. Next, we got Christian York versus Zema Ion. Christian York is part of the Gut Check Challenge. He's not actually... Gut Check seems to be like, you know, for like newer guys to kind of get a shot, but, you know, Christian York, he's been wrestling for like 15 years, former partner of Joey Mercury. I forgot their names. I forgot their names, but they were a huge team on the independent circuit, and he ended up taking Zema Ion on, and it was actually a pretty good match. Zema Ion wins, and I wouldn't mind seeing Christian York again. I actually think he knows what he's doing. He's actually been in wrestling for more than a few months and a few years, and I think that's good. I think that's what it should be used for. Like, guys who have been on the independent circuit making a name for themselves, but never kind of getting that chance. And you know, Christian York is just one of those guys, and I think that's what TNA should do. You know, give them one chance. If they don't make it, you know, they're dunskies. And if they do, you got a potential star on your hands. So I think it's good. So I'd like to see Christian York become a TNA roster member. And he's not going to have to go to OVW. It's like, how many guys have you seen on the Gut Check get a contract and you never fucking see him again? Except Joey Ryan. But his situation was different. But a guy like Christian York, who's been wrestling for like 15 years, he can win Gut Check, and then he can be at Impact the next week. You know, he's not going to have to train in OVW for like 5 months and hone his skills. He's been honing his skills this whole time, so I think that's good. Next we got ODB taking on Jesse from Big Brother. I guess that's his name now. This was okay. Jesse ended up winning. It seems like they're going to go forward with the whole ODB, Eric Young taking on Jesse and Tara. Good. I'd like to see Eric Young back on TV. He's a very entertaining person. I don't know why they keep taking him off. Next, you got Robbie E versus Jeff Hardy. Pretty good match. Hardy wins. After the match, Austin Aries comes out and says Aries will have a rematch at Turning Point. Hardy says okay, and then brings out a ladder, signifying that it's going to be a ladder match at Turning Point, which is actually going to be pretty fucking awesome. Can't wait. Next, we got Robert Roode comes out, says he deserves a world title shot. AJ Styles comes out, says it's the same thing. James Storm comes out, says the same thing. Hogan makes a 3-way for Turning Point #1 contenders match. I think the winner doesn't get a title shot for the rest of the year or something. I'm not sure, though. Next, we got Joey Ryan versus RVD. Okay match. Ryan wins. And in the main event, Bully Ray and Devon one-on-one. The match never happened after Devon brings out aces and eights. A bunch of TNA guys come out, and it leads to a huge brawl. It ends with Joseph Park coming out and him brawling with an ace until he unmasks him. Turns out to be Luke Gallows, formerly Festus of WWE, and he was Luke Gallows in WWE, so some people might know him, some people might not. Gallows then chokeslams Park through a table. So now we know the identity of at least 2 members. One expected, the other one not expected. And I'm talking about Devon, the one that we're not expecting. Luke Gallows has been rumored to be part of the Aces and Eights for a while. He actually signed a contract with TNA like a couple weeks ago, so it was inevitable that he'd finally be revealed. So that finally happened. Next, you got Smackdown. It starts out with Miz TV. Sheamus is his guest. They go back and forth. Kofi comes out. Big Show comes out. And this leads for a tag team match for later in the night. First match, Darren Young versus Sin Cara. Okay match. Darren wins. After the match, Titus O'Neil challenges Rey Mysterio to a match. So Rey Mysterio versus Titus O'Neil. Okay match. Mysterio ends up taking that. Next we got Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton. Again, 3 times in a row. Pretty good match. Barrett wins. After the match, Orton finds Del Rio backstage, and they have a pretty good backstage brawl. They ended up having a match on Smackdown. I think it was a Falls Count Anywhere, I believe. I didn't watch it, so this is what I read. I think. I don't know. Next we got Great Khali taking on David Otunga. Blah match. Khali wins. Next we got R-Truth versus Justin Gabriel. Okay match. Truth wins. And in the main event, Show Miz returning for, I don't know if it's one night only, but they took on the team of Sheamus and Kofi Kingston. Pretty good match. Show and Miz win. And yeah. Next we got Ring of Honor TV. First match, the Briscoe Brothers versus the Bravado Brothers. Pretty good match. The Briscoes win. After the match, the Guardians of Truth come out and reveal themselves as the Headbangers, former WWF Tag Team Champions. They're part of Ring of Honor now, so that's pretty cool. And in the main event, there was only 2 matches because the second match ran so long. Was the Survival of the Fittest, where they have 6 people. It's an elimination match. Winner ends up getting a world title match down the line. So it's Davey Richards versus Michael Elgin versus Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal versus Mike Mondo versus Roderick Strong in an elimination match. Really good match. Lethal wins and is the Survival of the Fittest and earns a future world title shot. Definitely check out this match. This match was like the epitome of Ring of Honor. You know, those crazy, fast-paced, long matches. And I definitely recommend checking this out. If you don't know how to watch Ring of Honor, what you want to do is you want to go to ROHWrestling.com, sign up for an account, and you can watch the show there every Thursday. And yeah, go check this one out because it was actually really fucking good. So next we got a little bit of wrestling news. Not much. It's actually only one thing. We're going to elaborate more on the Beth Phoenix situation. So she's gone from WWE. I don't know if she plans on coming back in the future. She said she left because she wants to put her family first instead of wrestling, which I applaud. You know, anybody, you know, Tyler Rex just went through the same situation a few weeks ago. I think it was a month ago, actually. It's been a while, but you know, he ended up leaving to go take care of his daughter, and you gotta commend people for that. I know Monty Brown, he did the same thing. A couple people have done it, so I don't know if she's gonna come back. But I'd love to see her back because that's a huge blow to the women's division. And, you know, she is considered to be one of the best women's wrestlers in WWE right now. So that definitely sucks for them. But, you know, she might pop up in TNA. I don't know if she left on good terms or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I think we'll see her in wrestling again sometime soon. So that was it. And also, I know I'm a little bit late here, but WWE 13 came out last week. Was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago. And if you haven't already, I'm going to do a quick review real quick. So far, the game is actually pretty good. There has been a lot of problems with it, which I'm kind of angry about because it's stupid problems too. Audio issues. Like when I do a move, the audio is not there. It glitches out sometimes. The AI for Cause is terrible. You know, they just run around, especially in a tag team match. The Cause just run around on the outside, screwing their partner. What else? I don't feel like the game is as hard as WWE 12. Like in WWE 12, the computers would whip my ass. In this game, I don't feel that. I feel like I can win any fucking match, no matter how much they beat me. Also, the pins, I don't like the pins too much. It just seems like it's really easy to break out of. What else? Attitude Era mode is pretty good. The online is working at the moment. What else? So overall, if you're on the fence about getting the game, I'd say wait a few weeks, let some patches come out, let them fix the game. But overall, it's pretty fun. You know, it's a wrestling game. It's what we all wanted. We want something new. And I think it delivers that. So overall, I think it's a pretty good wrestling game. I'd give it like a 8 out of 10. I don't know. But, like, there's just so many fucking problems. And it's stupid problems. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. So I think, like, if you have the money, I'd say go pick it up. Like, wait for like a Black Friday sale when it goes on sale and shit, and then pick up the game. But overall, I think it's pretty good. Been actually doing some WWE Universe. If you're not up to date on that, go watch. We're doing 3 brands this universe. We got TNA, WWE, and ECW, so it makes for a much more wilder show. Another thing I don't like about WWE 13, only 50 cost spots. Again, why can't we have 100? Why? So that's it for the weekly wrestling review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch us next time where we got reviews for Raw, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, and Ring of Honor. And I think predictions for TNA Turning Point. I think that is sometime soon. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.